Do you know why it takes so long to get good at painting? It's simple. It's not practice. It's because you just don't think things through. You can paint a mini 100 times, and then on the 101st time, it'll just
I get it now.
click in your brain that, oh my gosh, this would be so much easier if I just did it this way. Or you could listen to content creators and not be an idiot like me and think, I know what's best. I know what's better. Anyway, this is one of those weeks where I learned something that I was just like, I could have been doing this for years. Okay, before I jump into this, a few weeks back I did a video on painting sloppily, okay? And how you can paint sloppy and still make it look good just by covering it up with, an oil wash or something like that. And because of that, I started painting a little sloppier than normal. And my own sloppiness is what led me to the epiphany of today. And that epiphany is simple. Base coat your models.
What?
And I don't mean prime them. Prime them, of course. Prime them in black, gray, whatever you want. But base coat them. Base coat them and do as sloppy of a job as you want to do. And now you might be thinking, why? It's simple. If you want to paint fast, get as much paint on it as you can, and then do highlights and tweaks and fixes. Because doing that is a lot easier and a lot faster than just painting it right from the get-go. And what I mean by that is just, spending all of the time making sure every little detail is the right color that you want, and then going back and doing the highlights and those things. Because a lot of the time, having a sloppy base coat actually helps you. Now, to kind of back up what I'm saying, I am finally finishing my Warmachine army, my Gravedigger army. And I have painted probably 15 of these guys already. And I'm trying to make sure that their colors match and everything else. Like, if you painted, okay? And I'm painting the three-man groups, the crews, the whatever they're called, okay? But the three-man groups that move together, the squads that move together. And as I'm painting these, they have a lot of metal on them because it's armor. And I mean, if you're playing tabletop war games, you're going to see a lot of metal, but they also have fabric and things like that. And as I'm painting them, I'm thinking to myself, man, this metal would kind of reflect a little bit of that fabric color. How could I have done that easier? Well, simple. If I had painted the armor that color first, and then as I was painting the armor silver, done it very wetted down silver over the top, guess what? I would have a bluish silver that would match with my Gravedigger cloth. and I know that sounds stupid, but I was like, okay, well that'll be cool. The next one I do, I'll just paint the whole thing a solid color. Tried that. Didn't like that because there's so many things that don't need to be that way. Okay. And so I decided on doing it this way. And this way is simple. It's where you paint the majority of things the color that they need to be, but your focus is just getting the paint on it. And the crazy thing is that as I was doing this, I remembered back to a lot of the content creators that I watch. And the first thing that they do is they either airbrush the model, like the whole model of color, or they get out their brush and they just hit it as fast as they can, let it dry, and then they come back and they touch it up. And they do that for that same reason, because you're trying to do thin coats of paint, and you can do thin over the base coat, and it just looks better. It looks the way that it's supposed to, and it always holds that tone of the base color. Now the beauty is, with the base coat down and done on these miniatures, and I could have done more. I could have painted the whole thing this way if I wanted to, but I'm trying to do as much detail as I can. So you come in with that silver, that true metallic metal that you want to use, and you just kind of come over the top, and with it thinned down, you can leave those tinges of blue, or they'll even shine through a little bit, especially in the thinner areas. And so it'll have that reflective of the blue on it. And for the other colors, the beauty is all that you got to do is come in with a little bit lighter than the base coat color, and you can thin it with white or thin it with whatever you want. Gotta get it so it's not too thin, but you come in with those colors and just do your highlights, do those areas where the sun is going to be hitting the luggage, not the luggage, the backpack, or whatever it is you're going to be going over. And when it dries, it just holds that base color so well in it. And that's it. Like, it literally is just one extra little thing, one extra step that everyone's been telling you to do for forever, but it just never really made sense, and so you just kind of left it alone. But it just makes everything so much easier, because now, instead of painting this backpack and trying to do all these different